with other teams.
Coach Saban basically said it on Hey Coach last night. I feel like this team is not considered elite anymore, and they have to go back out and prove, that they're a really good team and perform. So,
well, one thing Scott had was like what Aaron Torres said too is you had a great group of seniors, then you lose juniors too last year. I mean, it might be the best team that Saban ever had last year. You lose that group, last year. It's tough to fill in. Like I said, you got somebody like Devontae Smith, best wide receiver ever at Alabama. And Najee Harris, one of the best running backs, plus great offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Out. I mean, it's tough to replace that kind of leadership out. So, the team looked pretty good basketball-wise. They'd have Georgia Tech in an exhibition on Saturday, and that's what they were getting ready for. But I tell you what, they practiced 3 hours, and I mean, went at it, for 3 hours. I mean, I'll give one thing, the walk-ons, I mean, we're going pretty much against first and second team guys. We're just getting worn out.
Right.
I mean, so these guys, you don't think much about them or what they do, but you go to a practice, and they're not on scholarship, and they're not getting beaten around for 2.5 hours out. And like I said, they're not living at the dorm and getting all the good food and everything. So, but Quinterly looked great. Ellis, the improved guys were Gary looked great, and I tell you what, Miles.
Yes. This is a golden opportunity for D. Miles. I mean, I think he's got a lot of talent. I love his energy and his enthusiasm. And, of course, everybody knows what I think of Juwan Gary. If Juwan can start making outside shots, he's going to be something to deal with.
He had a couple, and, I mean, this was 5-on-5. I mean, this is not, so you were being covered, but he drilled a couple, yesterday. But Miles is at least 6'7" now.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So, yes, I wouldn't see, it wouldn't surprise me to see him at, probably the backup behind Ellis at 3, and then
Do we lose you, Richard?
No, that was Richard with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline.
Dropped.
Let's get a break in. When we come back, we're going to give away some Huntsville Havoc tickets. Go see the boys on ice on the home opener tonight against Birmingham.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Not much to the ride in this morning. It's one of those unusual Friday mornings where everything runs smooth. That can change quickly, though, so be careful. Put some extra room in there so you got somewhere to go if something does go wrong around you. Do you know who to call when you need a heart doctor? You could write this name down now. Dr. Randall Burns at Huntsville Heart Specialist, where they have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our sports med specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Sitting here with Ann Adams of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Rise Real Estate. Is it a good time to sell your home, Ann?
Yes, it is. We have people relocating from all over the country.
Why should we choose Rise Real Estate?
Well, we've been selling real estate in North Alabama for 36 years and have sold more real estate than any other real estate company, period.
Do you help your customers through the entire process?
Yes, our agents are with you during the whole process from start to finish, from beginning to end.
In your relocation services, you have a whole team.
Yes, we have a dedicated relocation department helping customers move seamlessly into the area.
Ann Adams has been writing contracts for the last 36 years. She has the experience to help you list and sell your home, downsize your home, or help pick the perfect spot north of Alabama for you to build a future.
Call Ann Adams at 256-337-2625 or on the web at www.bhhsriserealestate.com.
This Halloween, pour it on. Shop for your favorite beer, wine, and spirits at Liquor Express on University Drive or the Open Bottle on Highway 72. After all, Halloween isn't just for kids. Adults get treats too. Make it a double. Have a safe Halloween.
Drinking coffee straight from the pot. Power move. Wearing a bathrobe to work. Power move. Switching to super fast, extra reliable internet from WOW. Power move. Switch and save with WOW Internet for just $19.99 a month. It's switching season, so make a move with our best deal of the year. For a limited time, get Internet 100 with no contracts for just $19.99 a month. Plus, get a 2-year price lock and the first month free. Make the switch at wowway.com today. Wow. Limited to new customers with auto pay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Valley Equipment Rental. Pretty self-explanatory name, no? Tom Abraham here. And look, Valley Equipment Rental is all over the Tennessee Valley. And they rent equipment. All kinds of equipment. And not just to the contractors out there, but to you, the general public as well. Need a skid steer or an excavator? Well, they've got over 40 units to make sure they've got one for you. From huge boom lifts to miscellaneous hand tools, it's at Valley Equipment Rental on the South Parkway. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. More on that to come.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Join us this afternoon from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, tonight coming up at Probst Arena, the Huntsville Havoc going to take on the Birmingham Bulls, and we have 2 pairs of ticket vouchers to give away to go see the Huntsville Havoc play. Now, here's how it works. You're going to have to be able to come here today and pick up this voucher and take it to the ticket office to get a pair of tickets. We have 2 pairs of tickets to give away, so we're going to let 2 people go, or 2 pairs of winners go see the Huntsville Havoc play. So 256-576-4977. If you want to go see the Huntsville Havoc play, we will give away 2 pairs of tickets. I guess the first 2 callers make it easy and see.
First 2 callers, each caller would get a pair of tickets. You get a voucher that is worth 2 tickets that you turn in to the ticket office at the Probst Arena, and you will be attending the Huntsville Havoc and the Birmingham Bulls, the opener tonight, for free, courtesy of ESPN 97.7 The Zone.
All right, guys, 256-576-4977. The first 2 callers that want to go see the Huntsville Havoc play, give us a call now, and you can go see the Huntsville Havoc play. That's how Chad will get your information, but you've got to be able to come here and pick up these vouchers today so you can take them to the ticket office to go see the guys play tonight. And, of course, that'll be on Zone 4. So 256-576-4977. The other games going on around the league. Auburn will travel to Arkansas tomorrow, 11 a.m. kick. Auburn, a 4.5-point underdog in this one.
That one's kind of grown a little.
It has.
I think it's been, 2.5?
Mm-hmm. Something tells me about this one. I just I don't have great I want to. I want to believe that Brian Harsin and company can go on the road to get a win, but I don't. The way Arkansas has been playing,
Arkansas feel to it, man.
I just feel like Arkansas right now is playing better football than Auburn right now.
Well, I think the point spread's about valid, about right. I've got a close game throughout, but Arkansas finding a way to win 28-24 in Fayetteville. If it was at Auburn, I might have picked the Tigers in a close one, maybe on a last-second field goal. But this one's on the road, and Coach Pittman's team is coming off of a heartbreaker, but they scored 51 points on Ole Miss. Auburn's defense is better than Ole Miss's, I believe.
So do you think Auburn would give up? Do you think that defense is going to give up 35, 40 points at home or on the road?
I think it's going to be a 28-24 type game. I don't see it being the track meet that we saw with Ole Miss and Arkansas. Now I see Tennessee in there and Ole Miss being like that. I mean, I think I'm probably going to go with the Rebels 49-45, but that's what I see.
ESPN has that over-under as 83.
Well, I've got it over. So
83. So I'm looking at the rest of the over-underers.
I've got 94.
I'm looking over the rest of the over-unders in the SEC for the weekend. The LSU-Florida game and the Missouri-Texas A&M game, both is at 59.5. Those are the highest ones there. Then you go all the way down and you got Tennessee at Ole Miss at 83.
Mm-hmm.
They turned into the Big 12 where they can't tackle?
In some games.
But, I mean, I'm talking about that one, Tennessee and Ole Miss. Well, I mean, that's a Big 12 type of game.
Neither defense is very good. And so and then we'll see how much pride Alabama has. I mean, can they tackle somebody? Because they certainly had trouble in the first half against Texas A&M and then the last, 4 or 5 minutes. So this is going to be an interesting come-to-Jesus ball game for Alabama.
All right, Josh Heupel earlier in the week talking about just that tempo offense. Here's Josh Heupel on tempo.
A hunt in the back.
Well, as soon as Stephen A. gets done screaming at us. Here's Josh Heupel on tempo offense.
I've been a part of tempo dating back to 2008 at Oklahoma. We played in the Fiesta Bowl and got beat by West Virginia and made a transition that offseason from 2007 to 2008 with a bunch of guys that were returning. So we've played with tempo at different times in the offenses, some of it just based on your personnel, experience of the quarterback, and what you felt like the head coach may have felt like the style of play between the three phases, what he wanted that to be. Tempo is a form of pressure that you can apply on a defense. The last 5 years in particular, we've ran it at a pretty regular pace, I guess, offensively. It's a portion of what we do. It has the ability to stress the defense. Our spacing has the ability to do that too. I think it helps your five guys up front during the course of play too, and so you incorporate that into your game.
That's Josh Heupel a little bit there on
like Jimmy Himes said early in the week. They're almost like looking in a mirror at each other.
Well, you bring that up. Here's Josh Heupel talking exactly that same thing.
There's similarities. Everywhere you go, your offense is going to be different based on the personnel. What I've done at Missouri to UCF to here is different just based on your personnel and year to year with your personnel too. The overall structure is similar in that you're trying to put people in conflict. You're trying to play with tempo and use that as a weapon against the defense.
Yeah, talking about basically the offenses are about the same.
Yes, they are. Tempo-based, heavy in the running game, and then if you can run the football, you throw it. If you've noticed, Matt Corral, he's a Heisman candidate, and he's a great player, but he doesn't throw over 20-25 passes because Lane Kiffin wants to run the football and control the line of scrimmage, and that's what Tennessee wants to do. So whoever runs the ball and can slow the run down somewhat, in other words, maybe make 2 stops a half,
right,
has a chance to win this game.
All right, so that's some college football previews, 256-576-4977. You can get in on your expectations for everybody on this Saturday. Last night, high school football-wise, Mae Jemison gets a big homecoming win over Lawrence County, 54-21. Brooks over Central Florence, 33-20. Priceville over Deschler, 28-16. West Morgan over Wilson, 38-8. It was Lauderdale County over Colbert Heights, 35-7. Mars Hill Bible over Red Bay, 42-8. And R.A. Hubbard gets by Waterloo, 50-12. Those are scores from our area around North Alabama on a last night, which was a beautiful night for high school football, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Hopefully we'll have good weather tonight. I know a lot of games in the Shoals, including our good friends Priceville traveling to Deschler to get that big 28-16 win. Our ESPN 97.7 The Zone Team of the Week presented by Bryant Bank. I know they moved some games up. It's fall break related too, but also to dodge some potential weather. But, there was some great high school football last night. Mae Jemison getting a big win under Harold Wells over Lawrence County. So we'll see, but we look forward to the games tonight. Certainly a huge challenge for Huntsville High playing against Wade Waldrop's group. There's a lot of playoff implications with this game tonight.
Yeah.
The Florence Falcons can clinch a playoff berth. Huntsville High can go a long way to getting one with a win, certainly. And as we said, 4A Region 7, Madison Academy is trying to salt that region championship away.
All right, how about this number for you, just for college football-wise? Under a loss at Alabama, under a regular season loss, Nick Saban, by the way, in case you're wondering, is 8-1 with an average margin of victory 21.5 points coming off a loss.
Well, the one time that everything went haywire was year one. They were 6-2.
Yes.
And then, lost the heartbreaker to LSU, and then they ended up 6-6 before they won the Shreveport Independence Bowl. I don't know if it was Poulin Weed Eater. I can't remember what the sponsor was. But anyway, they won the Independence Bowl over Dan Hawkins in Colorado, and to cap off Nick Saban's first season in Tuscaloosa. So that's that was the last losing streak somewhat to end the season. Of course, that was the Louisiana Monroe debacle.
Yes.
That was Mississippi State. Where they led until the disastrous interception at the end of the half. And then the Auburn game, I think, was 17-10. DJ Hall couldn't catch the ball. So it's just one of those things. But certainly, for the most part, Nick Saban's teams have responded in kind to a loss, and we're going to see what happens. And you'll hear that on the Crimson Tide Sports Network starting at 3 o'clock, I believe, with the game kicking off a little after 6 on ESPN's family of networks.
All right, let's get a timeout in because when we come back, we're going to talk some high school football. Huntsville High head coach Mark Fleetwood going to ring in. We get a weekly visit with him as we preview tonight's game with Florence.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Good morning. Got a report of a single vehicle accident, 565 near exit 7. They may have an oily substance on the road there. Be careful. That one reportedly spun around. And we got reports of fog this morning, especially northeast Alabama. Dr. Sandman has the easy-to-use, easy-to-clean Somnodent oral device. Insurance approved for snoring and sleep apnea. 350-CARE or RandallSandlin.com. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today and get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Orange is the color power of construction, the color of Kubota and Huntsville Tractor and Equipment. Those who need to get things done trust Kubota's mini excavators, compact track loaders, and the best keeps getting better with the all-new mini compact loader from one of the top dealers in the country. More than 50 years of family service, every part in the book, and folks who know what to do with them. You'll be seeing orange with Huntsville Tractor and Equipment.
Come on, let's go to work.
In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
All right, 7:42 on a Friday night. Well, I should say a Friday morning. It'll be Friday night tonight. And another full lineup of high school football on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Coming up at 7 o'clock, you'll be able to hear Madison Academy take on New Hope. On Zone 2, you will have Huntsville High taking on the Florence Falcons. At 9:30, you'll have the North Alabama High School Football Scoreboard Show. That'll go till 11 o'clock. So another full night of high school football all across the Tennessee Valley. If you haven't seen a game yet, go on out, watch these kids play high school football. It is fun. The weather is going to be beautiful tonight. It's just good to be out and enjoy some high school football. The bands, the cheerleaders, the pageantry, get on out and enjoy a game.
Certainly, and our next guest is with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline nearing the end of his 5th season with the Crimson Panthers. And Huntsville High will be taking on the Florence Falcons at Milton Frank Stadium. Will be the last home game of the year. It's been a little bit of an unusual schedule, only the 3rd true home game for Huntsville High, but certainly they're looking to bounce back after a tough road trip to Austin, but still so much playoff implication to go in 7A Region 4. A lot to play for Huntsville High tonight as they take on a very talented Florence squad. We talked to Wade Waldrop yesterday, and now we will talk to Mark Fleetwood as we do each week before the Crimson Panthers take the field tonight. Coach, good morning. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing?
Doing good, Coach.
We're doing well, Coach. And I know the result wasn't what you guys wanted as a staff and the players. I'm sure there's been it's been probably a week to get refocused, and I know you guys pour so much into this, but still a lot to play for starting tonight. against a very talented opponent and a coach you're very familiar with.
Yes, it is, and I, you know, as this thing goes week to week, and we, you know, we just try to get better, and again, you know, with the youth, we're still learning in a lot of ways. I was really excited about last week, but you know, again, we got in the game, and there were certain things that were sort of out of our control during the game. And, you know, we came up shorthanded, but we've had a good week of practice. And, you know, the idea was as soon as you get through with that and you realize some of the other scores that went on, hey, you know, we're still in this. The outcome last week wasn't like we wanted, but let's go back and attack this, and let's try to get this thing, you know, and in the groove to make the playoffs.
Well, Coach, we hear coaches say all the time, and we hear players sometimes say, well, you know, this week wasn't that great or of a practice, or coaches will tell us, hey, it was a great week of practice. What makes it a great week of practice? What made this week a good week for Huntsville on the practice field?
Just staying focused and the sense of urgency about, you know, getting practice started, the things that go on during practice, staying focused during practice, and you know, those are usually the things that you're trying to get, that it's not a, you know, going through the motions, and that, you know, that there's some attention to detail, and then the mistakes that we made, trying to correct those, and you know, you can see it in their body language, you know, and that to me is the important thing is and you know, not every day you're going to have a great practice. You know, some days are better than others, but for the most part, you can tell by their body language, hey, are we wanting to do this, and the speed we're wanting to do at to have a chance to win on Friday night. That's what I like.
And, Coach, I know this team we've seen what this offense can do, and it's very capable. Certainly you're going to have a good night tonight against Florence. Florence is a very talented squad on both sides of the ball. They like to dominate the line of scrimmage, but if this team comes out and executes and plays to their capabilities, certainly this could be a very exciting game. And we've seen this offense produce, you know, a lot of points and a lot of yards. I don't think we saw the kind of representation in Austin that I think this offense is capable of, and that we've seen for most of the season.
No, I agree wholeheartedly there. And I mean, the sky's the limit with this group. And the talent that's on that side. And, you know, we had 3 really good weeks there where we were averaging almost, 50 points a game, 48 points a game. And then all of a sudden, you know, we just hit a little bit of a lull there, and not everything worked perfectly like it had. So, you know, again, you got to be able to deal with that during the game. And somewhere in there, you hope that, you know, when the offense is off, the defense can help, or when the defense is off, the offense can help. But you know, it didn't play that way the other night. So, you know, going back to the drawing board, and let's just get to the next game and try to correct those things. But I have full confidence offensively and defensively and in the kicking game, because there's so many things that have worked in our way. It's just us putting them together and it all working together that we seem to have trouble doing, and a lot of that has to do with the youth of our team. But they're, you know, the idea each week is just to correct this and keep going, and the fruits of our labor will pay off.
Well, Coach, let's talk about that tonight. Obviously, as a head coach, you're confident that this team can do that tonight. Florence, you mentioned scores from last week. Florence coming in an awfully impressive performance against Sparkman last week. If you're going to put it together tonight, it's going to have to be together really on both sides of the ball against a tough Florence team.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they probably played their best game of the season, and you know they've had a few the things that we've had along the way this season, where they've had people out, they've had a couple of COVID issues, they've had a collarbone issue, they've had concussion issues, and so they have been from week to week early on in the season to where they didn't have everybody. They weren't, you know, hitting on all cylinders. And now, as they've gotten through the off week and they've gotten everybody back, they played by far their best game. It was very impressive to watch them. So, it'll be exciting. I mean, this team is good, and so is our team. So I'm anxious to see where we are and understanding how important this game is for getting in the playoffs.
And so much of this, the experience gained this year will be so valuable in future seasons. I know the sophomore class is very talented. You got a lot of talented juniors, but you got a very small senior class, but guys that can make the playoffs, which would be big. It would be the second playoff berth in your tenure at Huntsville High. And no matter who you play, it's going to be a difficult opponent, but making the playoffs would be a great step for these young players headed into next year.
Yeah, it really will. And for the seniors to go out like this and with their dedication, even though it's a small number, these guys have busted their tail during their career here, and I'm proud of them. It's senior night tonight. It's the last time that these guys will dress up in a regular season game at Milton Frank Stadium. So, you know, there's a lot here for these guys to be playing for, and I'm excited. I really am. I mean, this is what it's all about. We're at the 8th game of the season, and we still have a chance to be in the playoffs and get to postseason play. So, you know, it's hope we're hitting on all cylinders tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. And then when you've watched Florence on tape, especially coming off the last game, offensively, I saw them against James Clemens. They have a lot of weapons, kind of like Huntsville High. They can spread the ball around. What has impressed you? They've got a quarterback that's a very tough kid, Caleb Mahan. But what have you seen that you know you're going to have to kind of try to contain or stop tonight from Florence?
Well, what you just said. I mean, they've got a good running back, a couple of good running backs, and then the wide out number 3 is a. 3, 4, and 15 are really good, and then the quarterback. What you said about him, he's got good size. He's got the ability to run it. I wouldn't call him a true running quarterback, but he has that ability. And then he throws the ball. He can get the ball out of his hand quick with the screen game. He can sit in the pocket and find his receivers. You know, go through his reads. So they're a talented group, and defensively, I think they've got all their pieces together and played as their, like I said earlier, their best game. So it's a all around good team. It really is, and year in and year out, Florence, since we started playing them, has been really good. They've been good up front. They're well coached. Will did a great job with them, and of course Wade moved over there last year, and Wade does an excellent job with these guys, getting them ready to play, and dealing with all the things that he had earlier in the season with injuries, and the whole secret is to try to win these games and get going at the right time in their season. So that's what we want to address tonight, and it looks like that they addressed it last week and are on their way. So it's a great challenge tonight for us.
Well, Coach, I got to ask you, you mentioned Wade Waldrop. He spent, 8 seasons there at
Yes.
James Clemens?
7 at Chelsea, 8 at James Clemens. That's right.
He goes over to Florence. When you watch this Florence team and you guys were in the same region as James Clemens for years with Wade there, how similar is to the offense that Wade is running in Florence versus similar to the offense that he was doing in James Clemens? Are you able to take away some similarities between the two?
Yeah, all three, offense, defense, and kicking. You can definitely see his stamp moving from one place to the other. Maybe not in every little thing, but you can see the overall big picture of it. And when you play, Wade likes to run the ball, and he likes to stop the run. And I think first and foremost with his teams, and then use the passing game to make things happen offensively and to keep you guessing. And they're a 70-some% run team when you look at their down and distant things. So it's a lot of the same different players. So he's doing what those players can do, and for the best of their offense and the best of to utilize them the right way in his offense and defense. So I see a lot of similarities. I really do. A little bit different plays, but still the overall stamp you can see.
And then, Coach, I'm sorry, I was just going to say your team, your offense has been balanced especially when it's been clicking. What's going to be the most important thing offensively that you have to do tonight to score some points and get those that front blocked and then give your guys a chance to make some plays, because certainly Huntsville has great skill people in their own right.
Yeah, I think establishing the run, stopping and establishing, and our biggest success has come this year when we can run the ball and run it consistently during the game. So, I think first and foremost that for us, that is going to be a key factor.
Getting Carlin Long going. Absolutely. He's had a nice year for the Crimson Panthers as just a sophomore. He will be number one in your program. You need to have a big night from him tonight. And I would imagine, Coach, there's a lot of pride. I know the offense wasn't satisfied with how they played last week. They understand what they're capable of. And this is a big challenge, but one that they got to be excited about. And, of course, being, as you already mentioned, senior night for these few seniors that you have that have been very important to this program. And, they would love to go out with a win and go just a long way to clinching a playoff berth.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, and I think just as we go season to season like that, and you graduate guys, different teams bring on different personalities, and this group right here has worked extremely hard, like I said earlier, during their career, and so we've got 3 games left here, 2 of them which are region games. So the idea for us is to get in the playoffs, and then we'll go from there. And the postseason play means a lot, and then the experience that you get from doing that, is invaluable.
It really is. It's invaluable, and it's going to be a big game tonight. You'll hear Austin, Coletti, and I on the call. We look forward to that. We look forward to Huntsville High bouncing back and playing a very good Florence team and having a chance to go toward a 7A Region 4 playoff berth under Mark Fleetwood in his 5th season at the helm of the Crimson Panthers. Coach, we know you're very busy this morning getting your team ready to go. We look forward to seeing you at Milton Frank, and we thank you for joining us as you do each week here on 97.7 The Zone.
Okay, thank y'all. Look, I'll see you tonight.
All right, thanks, Coach. Mark Fleetwood, Huntsville High head coach, joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline as we continue to talk some high school football. As we mentioned, your other 7A games, we mentioned them earlier in the week, but in case you need to know, Sparkman at home against James Clemens, Bob Jones at home against Grissom. Albertville will be at home against Austin this evening. Those are your other 7A Region 4 games. And then in Class 6A Region 8, you got Hartselle at home against Hazel Green, Decatur's at home against Columbia, Coleman is at home against Athens, and Buckhorn will welcome Muscle Shoals tonight. Hartselle doing a big thing to win, take a step closer to winning that region last week with that big dominating win against Muscle Shoals. So the Tigers, awfully impressive. Hartselle is once again.
Yes, there's no doubt. Brian Moore's done a great job. I think he's in his 2nd full season as coach. They're unbeaten at Hartselle. A lot of tradition over there, Scott, as you know. Very proud. 2011 5A champions under Bob Godsey. And Bob Godsey is going to join us in just a few minutes for Madison Academy as they're looking to clinch a 4A Region 7 championship. So you'll hear that tonight. Steve Moulton and Glenn Laird as the Mustangs travel to face Trey Sullivan and the New Hope Indians. So we look forward to that. But, yes, no doubt Hartselle's having a special year. They got that big win over Muscle Shoals last week, and they are probably on a short list contending for a state championship. So kudos to the Hartselle Tigers who have an outstanding program over there.
All right, that's going to be just about it for hour number 1 of Talking Ball. Not much time for your phone calls in hour number 2. We got guests coming up at the top of the hour, and then we're going to have Jon Hale later in the hour. So stay with us. We're going to give away another pair of Huntsville. I should say we gave away both of our pairs of Huntsville Havoc tickets.
Thank you for for everybody calling in.
Yep, we got those done. So again tonight, Huntsville Havoc at home.
Already had somebody pick them up.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Scott Wood.
Scott Wood. So congratulations there. Who won our other pair? Okay, well, congratulations to those two for winning. John Smook winning the second pair. Hour 2 is going to get underway. Bob Godsey going to join us. Then Jon Hale is going to join us. We'll talk some college football, high school football, and more. Don't forget WZZN.halfoffdeal.com. Best half-off deals in the Tennessee Valley. Metro Diner and Gunner's Landing. Check them out.
Hey, this is Justin with the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. We'd like to invite you to North Alabama's premier patio bar and grill, where at the factory, we have something going on each and every night. Monday night, steak night. Tuesday night, karaoke. Wednesday night, the Jeep community comes out for Jeep Jam. Thursday, it's bike night, the biggest in the valley. Friday and Saturday, live concerts on our 4,000 square foot patio, along with drink specials and a beautiful staff. What are you waiting on? We will see you at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
Carrier Rosenblum here with Rosenblum Realty, and we appreciate our MA family. Football season is back again, and we're here for your real estate needs. We've been also doing rental properties for many years. You may have a home that you need to lease out. You don't need the headaches. You need somebody to take care of it, make sure the repairs are done, keep the rent coming in, and screen the tenants. We can do all that for you at Rosenblum Realty, where we do property management services, or you can find a good home to rent as well. Call us at 256-539-9501. Put our years of experience to work for you.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Had one report of an accident this morning, 565 near exit 7. Single vehicle spun out there, no injury reported, so they should have it clear pretty quick. Couple of reports of fog, mostly to the northeast of Huntsville. You be careful if you got a long way to go this morning. You get 3 pieces of the crispy tender chicken and a buttermilk biscuit for $4.99 at Popeyes. University in Jordan, 72 in Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky for your Friday afternoon. A couple of isolated showers are going to be possible during the heart of the afternoon, early into the evening. The best opportunity for rain across the Tennessee Valley is going to come Friday night and then very early into your Saturday morning. With that in mind, Friday overall is actually going to be a pretty decent day across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures once again climbing into the lower 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
College football Friday night ACC matchup, Clemson minus 13.5 at Syracuse, 45 the over-under. Later in the Pac-12, Cal at 9th-ranked Oregon, the Bears plus 13.5, the over-under 54. Saturday, Auburn plus 5.5 at 17th-ranked Arkansas, 54 total. Number 5 Alabama minus 17 at Mississippi State, the over-under 58. Game 1 of the ALCS tonight, the Houston Astros hosting the Boston Red Sox. Houston minus 135 on the money line, Boston plus 125, the over-under 8.5. Framber Valdez getting the start for the Astros against Chris Sale for the Red Sox.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, hour 2 is underway here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. It is time for, once again, to talk some more high school football. And as we do, we're going to talk some Madison Academy football. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center is a proud sponsor of Madison Academy football and invite you to visit their Saturday sports clinic for all of those sports-related injuries. Each Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., visit 4715 Whitesburg Drive. It's the SportsMed Saturday Sports Clinic, and SportsMed helping us bring you their head coach, Bob Godsey, on this Friday morning.
Absolutely. We always enjoy our weekly visits with Coach Bob Godsey, who takes time to join us as his team is battling to clinch the 4A Region 7 championship tonight as they travel to take on Trey Sullivan and the New Hope Indians. And you'll hear that. It'll be Steve Moulton and Glenn Laird on the call. It's been a great regular season thus far for Madison Academy, and Coach Godsey is now joining us this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, welcome back to the show. Congratulations on the great win over Madison County. A very good program, 42-7. You guys performed very well. But, again, congrats, and looking forward to trying to win a region championship tonight. One of the first goals, I guess, you guys put up on the board in the preseason.
Well, it is. It's got to start somewhere, and hopefully tonight we can play well and get the win and solidify that first seed in the playoffs, and add another region championship here to the tradition at Madison Academy.
Well, Coach, in order for that to happen, how do you build on last week's performance to make that possible tonight against New Hope?
Well, I know I'm very, very redundant, but with our guys, we tried to keep it simple. We just want to play better. We just want to execute a little bit better. Last Friday night, we did that in spurts, but maybe not consistently enough. You're always trying to be a lot more consistent. We gave them some plays, especially on that first drive defensively, but then after that, we settled in and played extremely well. But very, very pleased with our guys and their ability to get themselves ready to play on Friday. I guess kind of use where Coach Saban went last week. Everybody wants to win on game day, but what are you doing during the week? To make that a possibility. What are you doing during the week to allow you to play your best or reach your full potential? And that's the quest. That's the thing everybody's chasing. Everybody's trying to accomplish is being your best every day.
And, Coach, certainly being his best every day, he continues with a huge season. And we know what Kerryon Johnson and Malik Miller meant to the program, but certainly Will Stokes having that kind of year, 27 touchdowns. I think he had 17 for 193 and 4 more on this past Friday night. And I thought one of the things you said in postgame was how that he's had a special year, of course, on the field, but he's been an even better teammate, which speaks to the culture and speaks to the kind of player that he is as a senior trying to help lead this team.
Oh, well, 100%. Like I said, as good a player as he has been for us, he's an even better person and being better, teammate. And he's fun to coach. He's the guy that shows up, works hard, and has done all the little things, in the weight room, paid attention to all the little details that has really made it possible, I think he's one of those guys that understands that what you're doing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, really benefits you on Fridays. And, you don't want to be a team or an athlete that just relies on your ability. You want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to reach your full, potential. Of course, that's the quest once again for us all, in an everyday setting. We're constantly grinding to try to be the best version of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, how have you seen this team improve then, as you mentioned, and you kind of put all of that, what you just said, into this year's team? How has this team then managed to accomplish all of that since that opening game against Briarwood?
Well, I think the opening game with Briarwood was a little bit of a humbling experience for us. Once again, as we said, it's even with a bunch of guys back, you have to build a personality. We didn't have one at that time. No team does, game one. So we had to kind of figure out where we were and where we were headed. And I think it was a little bit of a humbling experience. We had work to do. And our senior class did an excellent job of leading. We went almost 3 or 4 weeks right there where we didn't have all of our guys together. So we were a little bit shorthanded. And as we got guys back, whether it be from either COVID or COVID issues or things of that nature. We had some nagging injuries going on there and that type thing. But most of it was just mindset of we got to get things right. And at that point, we really started honing in on some of the little things that we need to get better at. And that's going to be the key. We talked in detail or in depth yesterday about that as we move toward the playoffs, that as the talent level kind of balances itself out, the difference is going to be, who does the little things right, and who can be the toughest, and who can who can come up with those one or two plays a game that you have to win.
And, Coach, I know this is going to be a unique challenge with New Hope. Earlier in the year, you guys played back-to-back, Scottsboro and DAR, and they both bring an option veer type look, wishbone almost to the table. I believe New Hope, at least in years past under Trey Sullivan, they've been more of a wishbone type option team. Is that still the case? And again, that would, I think, benefit you guys that you saw that style earlier in the year.
Well, it is, and they are. Trey has done that for several years. Wherever he has been, does an excellent job of that, and they've been maybe not as textbook wishbone double slot stuff as they were in the past. They were really good at it last year, and posed a lot of problems for us. And I sat down last night when I got home and watched a little bit of Memphis and Navy, and watched Navy take their first drive and go 21 plays, use up about the entire first quarter, and score a touchdown. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, but, that's what you can't allow to happen. They'll 3 and 4 yards you to death. I think we're built a little better this year to withstand that than maybe you have been in the past in terms of our defensive line and things of that nature. Having seen it multiple times over the last 2 or 3 years with our guys, I think that helps. But it really forces you as a young player to make sure that you keep your eyes where it's supposed to be and you do what you want to do. It's so different than the spread game, and I mean it's tough defensively. It almost bores you to death because it's just a constant just hammering away, and I grew up in that a lot, and I understand where they're coming from. So you just have to keep your poise. You have to be very disciplined, and you have to play hard for 4 downs to get them off the field instead of just 3.
Mm-hmm. Coach, you have seen a lot of offenses, a lot of different styles. You've seen probably the snow huddle spread, the RPO stuff come in. Is it a breath of fresh air to see an option style of offense, or is it one of those things where when you know it's coming, you're like, oh, man, we don't see it too often, so it's like I don't like this as much?
I would think it'd be a pain in the ass
because
myself.
Back in the day we saw it, what maybe 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, we saw this more common than we do now.
Right. Kids today don't, like you said, my first year at Brooks, in 10 games we saw wing T 7 times. And, so you're going to see it, so you get used to defending it. You better come up with a good, plan on defending it because everybody was running it. And, went through phases, as you said, same way with double slot, wishbone, type, plans and that type thing. Kids today with all the 7-on-7 and spread and things of that nature, obviously, are a lot more comfortable with that. Because Kayla and I were talking the other night, with 2 weeks of teams that throw the ball around, our secondary had really improved. I mean, you could just see how much they improved just simply because of the work and through the weeks and all of that. This week they're mostly linebackers, so there's not a lot of pass that goes on. So. Kids today obviously want to defend the spread and all that because that's what they're used to, and it is harder because it's just different, but it's part of it, And now with the stuff of what back lines, which is a little bit of wing T and a little bit of power, old school power football, and that a lot more people are doing those type things when they got 11 guys packed in there. And it's tough. It really forces you to be disciplined, which is tough on kids today.
I just picture coaches having to go to the filing cabinet and dust off the old option playbook, once a year just to have
Coach
it.
Godsey has a veteran staff.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, that's what just goes in my head.
I think that's a great question, and we have tried to build our defense to have as many commonalities as possible, regardless of what we see.
Yeah.
So we try to have as many, things that hold true regardless of what offense we're seeing. So the kids are used to that, they're comfortable with that, they're confident with that. And if they're that way, then they will play a lot harder. And Coach Stiles and Coach Cagle and Coach Lovett, those guys have done an excellent job of that. So it may look completely different a lot of times, but we try to keep things defensively, as simple and as sound, regardless of, the type of offense we're seeing.
And
I think that really helps.
And, Coach, with last few minutes with you, but I did want to laud some of your kids as well. Certainly Will Stokes, it makes the offense go, but you guys have started spreading the ball around. You talked to us last week about Jalen Holmes needing to, be a big part of this. He had a 2-yard touchdown run. Carson Crean has been very efficient for you. William Bergreen, 32-yard touchdown catch. So you guys are starting to spread the ball around, and that's going to be key to making a deep playoff run, being multifaceted offensively.
We do have multiple guys that can do things, with the ball. Jalen is 70, 80 yards a night, on 5 or 6 touches, and William has been he's been really close to having big nights. Finally got the big touchdown catch and that type thing, and Carson's improving each week, and that's what we need. And we're a running football team. We want to be use those big offensive linemen. That's where the most experience that we have on our team is up there, and those guys have been really, really good. Kate Young and J.P. White, and Jalen Arnold, Brock Horton, and Reese Baker. Those guys have been really, really good. Cannon Hamlin at tight end, they've been really, really good in the run game. And that's where it's going to start with those guys. And we'll, the further we go, the more, as you said, we're going to have to spread it around, to keep people off of that running game.
And then, Coach, defensively, we know about Deuce Spurlock. He's going to Michigan. He's a great player for you. But this is a really good defense as a whole, as a unit. You just talked about your secondary and how much better they're getting. But talk about some of these young people on that side of the ball, because anytime you hold a team to 7, Madison County is a team that can score points. Defensively is what's going to carry you in the playoffs as well, and hopefully can help you clinch a region title tonight. But talk about the defensive side of the ball a little bit.
Well, I think it starts with Chuck Moore, our middle linebacker.
Yes.
And he's all over the place and does great things. I think you have Deuce on one side, but then KD Cherry just continues to improve, kind of on the left side, what we call dogs, and having those two guys kind of anchoring things on the edges and being able to play in coverage is just a huge blessing. Cannon Hamlin has been solid and just continues to improve, and he's the guy that kind of gets it, helps get people lined up, especially up front, and keeps them communicating. I think probably the most improved part of our team, though, is our defensive line up front. John English, Cooper Lovett, who missed last week, but he'll be back this week. Hayden Knight, Dalen Johnson, Daniel Scott. The fact that we got guys up there that we can rotate through has also been really, really good, and they're expected to be wide open. But that's probably the most improved area on our team. And then probably our is holding Blake, our safety. Make all the calls, get them lined up, get them where all these guys where they're supposed to be. We rely on him for so much when it comes to just getting folks lined up. And then the littlest guy on the field, Marlo Brewer, just keeps making plays. Wherever you put him, it does not matter. People are going to try because they look at this little bitty guy, and he just keeps making plays. Whether it's intercepting passes, he made 2 beautiful plays last week on the edge. Got up there, KD doing what he was supposed to do, and bounced out there to Mario, and made 2 open field tackles. And just the Purdue kid from Madison County, who's very hard to tackle, drops him, for no gain or very little. So, it's a team game, and I think our guys goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Everybody understanding what their responsibility and their role is, and everybody's role is important, but you can't get caught looking at someone else's stuff.
Mm-hmm. And final thought, Coach, a 4A Region 7 title at stake tonight if you can win on the road at New Hope. That'd be a great accomplishment for your team as you're on this march toward you'd like to bring home a blue trophy, but you got to win the region first. Talk about the opportunity tonight and what you need to do to beat New Hope.
Well, once again, like I said, you gotta go A, B, and C before you go to D and F. So we want to make sure we handle our business tonight, and it's really no different than everything. We have to get off the field defensively. I mean, we have to be disciplined. Be where we're supposed to be, have good eye discipline, and making sure that, once again, we're handling our business, not allow them to keep the ball. And then offensively, you better make sure you take care of every opportunity you got, which goes back to, once again, taking care of the football, not giving them any extra opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, good luck tonight. We'll hear it. Glenn Laird and Steve Moulton on the call at New Hope High School as the Madison Academy Mustangs look to clinch a 4A Region 7 championship. Congratulations, Coach, on the success thus far. Good luck tonight. Safe travels, and we look forward to hearing the ball game. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. I enjoyed it.
As always, that interview brought to you by our good friends over at SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. Give them a call today. 256-881-5151 to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. Let's get a break in. When we come back, I'll talk some college football.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
If you need a car, McCurry Motors is ready to put you in a quality vehicle, and in-house financing is available. If you have a job, McCurry Motors will work with you even if you have a bankruptcy, divorce, or bad credit. Visit McCurrySaysYes.com. Every car comes with a warranty, and they report to the credit bureau. With 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens, call 256-230-0232, or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville. Call 256-713-0575.
Everybody knows the fun begins when you get to the end zone, where you can enjoy half-price apps every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, half-price burgers every Tuesday, plus late-night pizza specials and a spectacular menu that includes jumbo wings, half-pound burgers, Tex-Mex, and an incredible selection of craft beer, and plenty of big-screen TVs. It's all happening at the end zone, 1851 University Drive, 2030 Cecil Ashburn at Jones Valley Station, and coming in early 2022, Mid-City End Zone at 1115 McMurtry next to the Target Shopping Center.
Take your taste buds back in time with a trip to the all-new Bubby's Diner, offering a variety of mouth-watering food from delicious starters to 50s-style diner food and meat and 3 meals, featuring owner and Huntsville native Chris Bubby Belcher's family's homemade recipes. Open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8412 Whitesburg Drive in the former Gibson's Barbecue. Drive-in, drive-through, carry-out, or curbside pickup with delivery coming soon through Grub South. Bubby's Diner, home of the Donut Burger.
Chad, cue the cheesy Italian music. So you're in charge of the dinner spot, and the family is a hard group to please. Dad wants award-winning 21-day age certified Angus beef. Mom craves authentic Italian food like great-grandma. Sissy pretty much won't eat anything but fresh seafood. And old life of the party, Uncle Walter, likes to enjoy a cigar after dinner with some live local entertainment and some killer cocktails. So you think you're in a pickle? Well, you're not. Relax. I'm Tom Chapman, chef at Nick's Ristorante at 10300 Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly. We have all that and more. Our friendly and helpful staff is eager to help you Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5. So, corral that crazy crew of yours and give us a call at 256-489-8280 or tell them to check us out at nicksristorante.com. I promise you, the gang will all think you're a culinary cruise director of awesomeness if you take them all to Nick's. See you soon. Ciao. Okay, Chad, kill that music.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Kerry Rosenblum here with Rosenblum Realty, and we appreciate our MA family. Football season is back again, and we're here for your real estate needs. We've been also doing rental properties for many years. You may have a home that you need to lease out. You don't need the headaches. You need somebody to take care of it, make sure the repairs are done, keep the rent coming in, and screen the tenants. We can do all that for you at Rosenblum Realty, where we do property management services, or you can find a good home to rent as well. Call us at 256-539-9501. Put our years of experience to work for you.
Sitting here with Mark Kent of Southern Fidelity Mortgage Group of Huntsville. Mark, do you help pre-qualify people?
We pre-qualify people all the time, Wes. As a matter of fact, I love having them coming in here because when they come in and they pre-qualify, they can leave my office knowing exactly how much they can buy and have no worries.
Mark, tell me about your rates and pricing.
Well, Wes, this is something we're really, really proud of. Long story short is, I love being able to provide the best pricing in town. Honestly, I cannot tell you the last time I lost a deal to either rate or pricing, something I'm very proud of.
So what all financing options do you have, Mark?
We do several different things. If you're purchasing a home, we can handle the purchase. If you're wanting to refinance your home, of course, rates are at the lowest they've been in the last 3 years. We do a lot of refinancing. If you're building a home, we can handle the entire process from breaking ground to the final close.
Do you sleep with your phone?
Wes, if you want to reach me, you can call me at my office phone, which is 256-562-1000. But always remember, I sleep with my cell phone at night. That number is 256-656-5936.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST.
Got a couple of wrecks on the board now. Just got one on Winchester at Deposit. That one's reported with injuries. Got one northbound on Research Park near Plummer Road. No injuries there. It should move out of the way pretty quick. Snelling Medical needs several certified medical assistants. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
Leaving his mark on sports talk radio with a paddle.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Join West Neighbors weekday afternoons on The Drive, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Coming up next, it's the Tom Abraham Show with me, Tom Abraham. Now back to more Talkin Ball with Scott and Drew.
All right, 8:26 on a Friday morning. Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. And it is going to be another busy Saturday for college football. We kind of went over some of the highlights, some of the things that are going to be happening within the SEC. Now, you do have a couple top 25 matchups. One is 25th ranked Texas will host Oklahoma State. Steve Sarkisian and company will try to shake off that Oklahoma loss or the debacle, I guess, however you want to describe it, as they look to get past Oklahoma State.
You mean the choke?
Like I said, however you want to look at it, however you want to label it, I think it would be fair to label said game. Number 3, Cincinnati at home against Gus Malzahn and UCF tomorrow. Does Gus Malzahn have any hope in derailing Cincinnati's quest to get
about
to the playoffs?
About as much as Kentucky.
Who has a better chance of scoring more points, UCF or Kentucky?
Oh, UCF. But neither one of them is winning. Honest.
They're both 21.5-point underdogs, though.
Well, there you go.
UCF and Kentucky.
You're already a 21-point underdog to Cincinnati in year one.
Yeah, they both are 21.5-point
Big
underdogs.
Cat Bryant said they could beat Auburn, and now they're 21-point underdogs to Cincinnati, and they couldn't beat Navy. Bet he's made 2 tackles.
Kenneth Walker III will try to put his name further into the Heisman race.
You're talking about Michigan State, right?
As Michigan State will travel to Indiana tomorrow. That's like
been
on the
pretty
national.
remarkable what Mel Tucker's done in year 2.
Yes.
It's getting to the point where we probably have to have Rico Beard back on to talk about it.
Well, I mean, if Kenneth Walker III for Michigan State has another great game, and he has, so far this season, he has rushed for 913 yards and 9 touchdowns so far. And that is starting to, with Michigan State winning up to 10th, he has really cemented himself right now as a candidate for the Heisman. Bryce Young is certainly still there, but Kenneth Walker III is putting his name in there as well. The line has grown between LSU and Florida. The Tigers now an 11.5-point dog inside Tiger Stadium, inside Death Valley on Saturday against 20th-ranked Florida. 4th-ranked Ole Miss will take on TCU, and just kind of going over some of the ones that we might care about. But, by the way, 2nd-ranked Iowa is at home against Purdue on Saturday. So there you go. Those are some of the games there. But the one that we've been kind of focusing on a little bit is the fact that Georgia, number 1 Georgia, 11th ranked Kentucky. It's 2:30. We talked about Auburn last week having to play a perfect game against Georgia to get the win. And they didn't. They came out early and had a great plan, and all of the bugaboos that bug Auburn came to life early. For Kentucky to get that win against Georgia,
they're going to have to need help. And I'm only saying that because I just think this Georgia defense is that good. And I don't know, besides Wan'Dale Robinson, if Kentucky has enough outside to scare Georgia.
Does Georgia have a quarterback controversy?
No, they have a quarterback injury.
If you are Kirby Smart, before we get to Jon Hale, if you are Kirby Smart and JT Daniels or Stetson Bennett right now, if JT Daniels is 80% and says I can go, would you rather have him under center than Stetson Bennett the 4th?
I would want Stetson Bennett because I need a JT Daniels at 100% because he's liable to re-injure himself. That's what I need.
Okay.
I just need an efficient Stetson Bennett right now with this team.
Kentucky needs Stetson Bennett to throw some turnovers. They need him to fumble the ball a little bit.
They need Georgia to channel Alabama last week is what they need.
All right. Well, our next guest can help us sort that out.
Yes, he can. For the Louisville Courier-Journal, he does a great job covering the Kentucky Wildcats, and that is Jon Hale, and he's taken a few minutes to join us. He's been a frequent guest the last few weeks, but that's because Kentucky has been in the spotlight in the SEC and now undefeated, traveling to Athens, Georgia for a huge game on Saturday afternoon. And he's joining us now. John, welcome back to Huntsville. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
We're good, John.
We're good. And give us the vibe and the anticipation for this game. I've got Kentucky losing it, but under the number. I think 21 or 22 is way too big. I do like Kentucky's chances to compete in this game and punch, especially with that offensive line and the running game. I'm just not as convinced that they can still throw it well enough. But what's the vibe like in Lexington right now?
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, people are really excited, but I do think there's this kind of prevailing sentiment that they're playing against the spread versus playing against to win. Nobody outside of that locker room is giving them much chance to win this game, even Kentucky fans. It's talking about, keeping it respectable and being competitive and, is the spread too big, which I agree with you. I think it is based on the way these two teams have played each other the last few years, just with their style of plays. So, I mean, people are really excited, and obviously game day and all that makes it even more exciting for the fan base here. But I think most Kentucky fans are going into the weekend with, fairly realistic expectations about the actual outcome of the game.
What does Kentucky have to do? I mean, we were kind of shedding a little bit of light on there, but I mean, they're going to play the game, so Kentucky has a chance because they are playing the game. What does Kentucky have to do in your mind that we haven't seen them do this season to get a win on the road at Georgia?
Well, I mean, it starts with some of the things we have seen them do. I mean, the defense has to be elite like it was against South Carolina and Florida. They have to basically play a perfect game, keep Georgia probably in the low 20s to have any chance to win this. And then the offense has to take a step forward. I mean, they can't turn the ball over, which is something that they didn't do last week against LSU. That had been such an issue for most of the season. It seems like that's improved the last 2 weeks, so that starts there. They have to keep hold of the ball. They have to take advantage of any mistakes Georgia does make. The defense getting some turnovers, giving them some short fields would be huge in that. I think that's probably a must-have to pull off the upset this weekend. If you could get a special teams touchdown or something like they did against Florida, that would be a huge play, obviously. But then Will Levis and Chris Rodriguez and Wan'Dale Robinson, all those guys have to have their very best games. I mean, we saw it from Levis last week. I think that's kind of his best-case scenario right now, where he makes plays with his legs, makes enough plays with his arms. Maybe they can hit a couple, deep balls in terms of being really selective about when they take their shots down the field. But when that opportunity is there, you have to make the most of it. And then between that and the power run game that you have with Chris Rodriguez, that has to live up to the hype and not be shut down by, obviously the best defense they're going to see all season.
Yeah, that's where I question. I love Rodriguez. I think this offensive line is good, but I wonder if they can get the 150-plus yards I think it would take against Georgia to win the game.
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. I mean, Rodriguez actually had 100 yards in this game last year. Kentucky only got 3 points. They only got 3 points out of it, though, so it's not like that helped them very much. They just didn't have any sort of passing game at all. So I do wonder sometimes if maybe Georgia will just force Kentucky to beat them in the air and maybe give them some yards on the ground. But their defense is so good, they can probably take both of those things away if it's not clicking. I'm skeptical as well that Kentucky's going to go anywhere close to their normal rushing total in this game. But if they're a legitimate top 10 team, if they want to consider themselves a playoff contender, which they are right now on paper until the outcome of this game actually happens, then you have to prove that you can do what you do well even against elite teams. So that's going to be the test Saturday.
And we were talking about this. If Kentucky's able to go down there and get the upset win, it would launch this Kentucky program into another stratosphere this season. They would stay alive for the SEC East Championship, the playoffs, everything in front of them. But if they ultimately go there and they come up short on Saturday, what would be the narrative still surrounding this Kentucky football program?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on how they look. If they get embarrassed like, Arkansas did against Georgia, the national attention is going to go away pretty much immediately because, people were skeptical about this team anyway because of the schedule they played. And frankly, the schedule the rest of the season is not, any great challenge. So even if they keep piling up wins, I don't think people nationally will check back in with Kentucky until they get to 10 or 11 wins at the end of the season, if they do that. Locally, I think there will still be more excitement about it just because those kind of seasons don't happen at Kentucky hardly ever. They have one 10-win season in the last 40 years, so there would still be excitement about it there. If they can come out and be competitive and push this game into the fourth quarter and, play Georgia as well as anybody has all season, I think that would probably be enough to prevent them from falling very far in the polls. They'd probably, stay in the top 15 maybe if they kept this really competitive into the fourth quarter. And then you're in a position that if you take care of business the rest of the way, against 5 games they're going to be favored in. There's some difficult challenges there at Mississippi State, home against Tennessee, rivalry game against Louisville at the end of the year. But if they took care of business in those 5 games, they could arguably be in that pole position for the Sugar Bowl, depending on whether Alabama, gets back in the playoff picture.
And we're talking to Jon Hale, Louisville Courier-Journal, as we are previewing Kentucky traveling to Athens, Georgia, for probably the biggest game in the SEC East this season. Georgia, though, is down another defensive back. West Virginia transfer Tyke Smith has torn his ACL and is done for the year. That was being reported by On3Sports.com yesterday. So Georgia's secondary has been a little bit banged up. But now I counter that by saying we know Wan'Dale Robinson's dynamic, John. Who else needs to step up, though? They're going to need a compliment or two to him to help Will Levis in the passing game.
Yeah, it's a problem because Josh Ali, their number 2 receiver, who's been the only wide receiver who's offered a consistent threat other than Robinson all year, is going to miss his second straight game with a leg injury. So that's not great. Isaiah Epps, their third starter at receiver, has had a few moments this year, but they just haven't consistently targeted him. I think with Ali out, I expect them to do what they did against LSU a lot. I mean, they changed the depth chart this week to just have 2 wide receiver starters and 2 tight end starters. So they're going to play a bunch of tight ends out there. At the same time, they're going to play a bunch of multiple running back sets, try and get those guys involved in the air. We saw Chris Rodriguez catch a touchdown last week. Another running back, Jaton McClain, caught a long touchdown. So I think that's where you look. Even if there's not a wide receiver, you hope that the tight ends, guys like Justin Rigg and Brendan Bates and Isaiah Cummings, who's a young guy they're really excited about, who they moved to that position before the season, and the running backs, whether it's Kavasier Smoke or Jaton McClain, who are both really good pass catchers, can get involved in the passing game too. Because I think Georgia, knowing that Kentucky's real strength in the passing game that it has is the deep ball, I expect to play a lot of cover two and force Kentucky to get yards underneath through the air, and maybe the tight ends and running backs are a way they can do that.
No question about it, and the offensive line certainly a strength for Kentucky. Now defensively, Josh Paschal and the D-line have been a strength for the Wildcats. Now, this Georgia offense is still more 2008. It still doesn't reinvent the wheel. Your thoughts on how Kentucky's defense matches up with the UGA offense?
I mean, I like that matchup for Kentucky. I think Kentucky's defense is legitimately a top 15 defense in the country. I mean, I think, it's weird because they're not obviously matching up against each other this weekend, but Kentucky's best hope is that their defense matches Georgia's defense, or at least comes really close to it. So I think that's a side of the ball that they're going to have to play well. I think they can play well. The other caveat is, you mentioned the defensive line. Now they're down 2 of 3 starters on the defensive line because Marquand McCall, their giant nose guard, he's going to miss his second game, and then Octavius Oxendine, their defensive tackle, who had his best game of his career last week with 2 sacks against LSU. He's out for the rest of the season now with a leg injury that he suffered late in that game. So that certainly doesn't help things. They're actually fairly deep at nose guard with a couple guys behind McCall and Justin Rogers, who was a 5-star recruit a couple years ago, and Josiah Hayes, who was a 4-star guy with a bunch of offers from SEC Power. So they're maybe okay at that position, but that defensive tackle spot is kind of a revolving door, and they're going to have to throw a true freshman out there in Khalil Saunders and a redshirt freshman and Trevon Ribka, guys who have not played a ton. And going into Sanford Stadium in that environment, how those guys hold up is probably going to say a lot about whether the defense can match its performances so far this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, John, how do you see this one then playing out tomorrow in Athens? My thing is, I looked at that Georgia-Arkansas game, and if Georgia comes out, I mean, they looked angry that they were playing at 11 a.m. against that game, against Arkansas. I don't know if they'll come out with that same intensity on tomorrow, but if Kentucky can match that early, that's a key. But how do you see this one ultimately then playing out?
Yeah, I mean, my gut is kind of what you guys said already, that Kentucky plays it closer than the spread, but I just have a hard time imagining them winning this game, especially with the injuries that they have coming into it. I think I'm going to pick like 27-10, something like that, probably. Mm-hmm. But Kentucky to stay in this game, I think that early game scenario is going to be really important. I mean, if they want to take some shots and try and take advantage of, making a statement early, but you can't risk getting behind the chains on that first drive and facing a 3rd and long and getting a strip sack right away. That's the kind of thing that could happen and get it out of hand really quickly. So, I'm interested to see what they do on offense early in the game, but if they can weather that early storm, I think they can, keep it respectable.
Well, we certainly will be watching closely. Our good friend John Summerall doing a great job on that defensive staff for Kentucky. Great opportunity for Mark Stoops and the players, and this will be the 2:30 showcase game on CBS Sports. As Kentucky is traveling to Georgia to try to take a huge step toward winning an Eastern Division championship, something that has never been done since they split the divisions. But Kentucky, undefeated right now, them and Georgia are the 2 showcase teams right now in the SEC, with Alabama tripping up and Kentucky trying to prove they are a legitimate championship contender this Saturday in Athens. John, we look forward to your coverage. Let everybody know how they can follow it.
It's at Jon Hale, JONHALE_CJ on Twitter and courier-journal.com.
Thanks for always joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Jon Hale with us. Let's get a break in. When we come back here, tomorrow's headlines today, and we'll go over what Nick Saban had to say, that Alabama's not elite anymore. We'll break it all down.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a wreck on I-65. This one's near Upper River Road. Headed reported both north and southbound, so be careful through that area. Apparently there are some injuries. They've updated the one on Research Park northbound at Plummer to an injury type, and Winchester at Deposit also reported with injuries this morning. Are you tired of that mask and hose? Dr. Sandman has the easy-to-use, easy-to-clean Somnodent oral device. Insurance approved for snoring and sleep apnea. 350-CARE or RandallSandlin.com. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jet Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Ann Adams. Ann, I understand you have some exciting news.
Yes, Wes, I do. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services was just recognized in the 30th Annual Harris Poll Equitrend as the Real Estate Agency Brand of the Year and the most trusted real estate brand.
That is awesome news, Ann. Great companies in Huntsville, Alabama, winning awards is what we want. Is it a great time to list your home?
Yes, it is. The inventory is low and the market is heating up.
And I understand you're also looking for agents.
I am. We are so busy, Wes, we need agents to keep up with the demand.
Ann Adams and Rise Real Estate has been doing business in North Alabama for the last 35 years. If you want to do business with someone you can trust, she has been writing contracts since she was 9 years old. Call Ann today at 256-337-2625.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
What can you expect when you shop for a firearm at Bullet & Barrel? Expect great prices. We specialize in quality over quantity. Expect great service. Our professional sales staff is never pushy. We won't talk you into something that doesn't fit your needs. You have the right to make a smart, informed decision. Expect Bullet & Barrel, Alabama's only 5-star indoor shooting range, to support you after the sale. Bullet & Barrel, 3252 Lehman Ferry Road. Like or follow us on Facebook. Come see us soon.
In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today and get $1,000 off MSRP. See Hal at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
Looking for a great deal? Well, I've got one for you. Tom Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. And at Valley Equipment, if you rent after 3 on a Friday or on a Saturday morning, you're not due back until Monday morning. So basically, you're getting the entire weekend for the price of one day. And if you're in the service or are a vet, they'll knock another 10% off. Valley Equipment is locally owned and involved in our community through charities and even supporting local teams. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. Stay tuned for info on where that will be and when it will open.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, so we've got a couple headlines here. I'm going to blend these two in together. Yesterday on the Nick Saban show, part of Hey Coach, Nick Saban telling the listening audience, whoever would listen, that Alabama is not an elite college football team anymore. That he just hopes the guys respond and they come out and play to their abilities on Saturday. And so since Alabama fans panicked over the one loss, Drew, I thought USA Today did, and it's all just, I guess, perfect timing, released the salaries for the top college football coaches in America. Nick Saban obviously topping the list, $9.7 million this year. So Alabama fans, if you're upset that the Tide lost one game, Nick Saban's buyout this year is $38 million.
He doesn't really have one, okay? Never has.
It's listed as school buyout, $38.4 million.
Hell, they're never going to fire him. Good Lord.
I'm just saying, they're not elite. He says they're not elite, and they lost to Texas A&M. So
yeah.
I'm just saying. Oh, anyway. But
I think Stoops is 6th. Is he not 6th?
Mark Stoops? Dan Mullen is 6th this year.
Oh, okay.
The #2 coach, highest paid coach in America for the 2021 season right now. His buyout as of December 1st of this year, Ed Orgeron, $9 million with a $17 million buyout.
Lord.
Now people can understand why Ed Orgeron.
Now that's where somebody ought to be getting fired for making that kind of money, and they don't even know how the hell to line up. Good Lord. And then they had Allie Gay. He's out having some kind of surgery. I think they're all having surgeries because they don't want to play for him. He's a buffoon.
Oh, the school is scheduled to pay him $8.6 million this year.
Just for 1 year of,
inept football right now.
I mean, just they had one great season, and the rest has been, a decent year the year before when they went 9-3. But without Joe Burrow, it's been Turdsville, man. I mean, give me a break.
So #3 is David Shaw. #4
What?
David Shaw.
Good Lord.
Is set to make. The school is scheduled to pay him $8.924 million.
For what? Just to beat Oregon? I mean, good heavens. No wonder he's an arrogant SOB. Good heavens. I thought he might make 4 or 5 million. That's insulting. I can't believe that Mario Cristobal doesn't even make half that. Or makes about half. At least he wins the conference every now and then. What? Did Tiger Woods pay that? I don't know.
#4 is Dabo Swinney. #5, Lincoln Riley. Dan Mullen at Florida is the 6th highest paid coach this season. $7.5 million.
I can't believe this. I'm turning into Lane Kiffin. $8.5 million. He's never even come close to making the playoff. What is that?
Dan Mullen is 7.5. Jimbo Fisher 7.5. Kirby is 7. Ryan Day at Ohio State is 6.7 million. Chip Kelly is 12th, by the way, UCLA. Just kind of going down the line, Mark Stoops at Kentucky, 15th highest paid coach, $5.2 million.
That was probably 6th in the SEC, but he's making $5 million. I still can't believe David Shaw. That makes me want to puke.
Now, if somebody should be angry, it's the Nebraska fans. Scott Frost is making $5 million a year. His buyout as of December 1st is $20 million.
Well, we'll see if they end up paying the freight. I don't know if they'll give him another year or not, but, they've struggled there. It's been surprising. They just cannot seem to find the formula since they got rid of Frank Solich and shouldn't have.
All right, so those are your highest paid coaches in America.
Easily the most overpaid coach in America is David Shaw.
Number 3 on your list.
He's nearly making Nick Saban money for what? Just because he's smart? Good Lord. I know Stanford's a great academic institution, but they suck at football for the most part. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Vandy played them decently competitively. And this is a Vandy team that's historically bad.
Not as bad as UConn, though.
No.
They're not as bad as UConn
on the last play of the game. And they have not scored a point in the SEC. I think that's still correct.
Let's take a look. I can let you know on that one. I don't think they have either.
Yeah.
And who does Vandy? Let's take a look at this. Vanderbilt has South Carolina this week, okay? So Vanderbilt in their SEC games have been shut out by Georgia 62-0.
In Florida, 42-0,
yes,
right?
Yes. They have lost 106-0 in their 2 SEC games. Now they get South Carolina. So
in the battle of the inept.
Who is worse, South Carolina or Vanderbilt?
Oh, it's Vandy by far. Come on. They won't win a game in the league.
Well, in case you're wondering, though, the over-under in that one is 51 points, and the line is South Carolina by 18.
Well, of course.
South Carolina is going to score an awful lot of points if the over-under is 51, and that in Vanderbilt is so bad.
They're expecting Vandy to finally score a point, I think.
All right, some other headlines. I do want to mention this because the Braves are taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Starting Saturday.
This day in 1988, this is what you got.
But the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
The great Vin Scully, but that call makes me sick still to this day. I was an A's fan. I was puking in the floor. I really was. He had one damn leg and he hit it out. I thought it was a damn fly ball to end the freaking game. It was awful.
You were puking on the floor.
I'm like, what? I think that was 89, right?
1988.
Or 88.
Yep.
Okay, I'm 14.
Game 1 of the World Series between the Dodgers
old,
and the A's.
It ruined the whole. That's why I've hated the Dodgers ever since. I hate them. That's why I want the Braves to step it up. I hate those pukes. I really do. They just make me sick. Every time I see Oral Hershiser, I want to throw up. Good grief.
Boy, you're having stomach problems
I
today.
really was. It was depressing. That A's team was a machine. And again, I know half of them were on steroids. I understand all that. But they were a great team. And most of them have been played here, and it sucked. They went on to win the Earthquake Series the next year, but then the Reds beat their ass in 90. They only won 1 World Series with that group. They should have won 2 or 3. It sucked. And then 88 is the worst. Oh, my God. Kirk Gibson.
Between David Shaw and the Dodgers, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I can't stand the West Coast. That's the common theme. I think everybody understands that.
So I guess you won't be going to In-N-Out Burger anytime soon out on the West Coast.
No, we don't have any here. We've got Whataburger. We're good. Finally went to there in Decatur, by the way. It was good.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Getting one on South Parkway.
Absolutely. And we have a Hall of Famer in the studio today, too.
Oh, we do. We do. BYU. Hey, they're playing well.
Yes.
Yeah, BYU.
The one and only Charlie Davis.
Yep. What a week it was. What a week it's been. What a week it'll be next week. But we are done for our Monday through Friday shows.
And now we're going to have the Czar from 10 to noon with Chad Guathney. We're going to have the drive tonight with Steve Moulton and Wes Neighbors. Steve will be on the road at New Hope, and we will have, of course, the call at Huntsville High and James Clemens. And I'm sure, hopefully, that the Czar will not talk about Kirk Gibson with Chad Guathney later, where I have to throw up.
Well, we already know you've done that on the floor. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Talking Ball. See you guys on Monday.
We know it's lonely at the top, but we don't mind.
National championship number 18. 13-0. Absolute perfection.
Roll Tide. Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide head to Starkville for a showdown with Mississippi State. Our coverage begins at 3 on your home for Bama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. Stop into the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Go Mustangs!
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. This just in. The Browns have designated receiver Jarvis Landry to return from injured reserve. He's been on IR with a knee injury. Cleveland hosts unbeaten Arizona on Sunday. Another trip to the National League Championship Series for the Dodgers. LA advanced thanks to a 2-1 win over San Francisco in Game 5 of the NLDS. Manager Dave Roberts indicating Max Scherzer, who picked up the save last night, will start Game 1 tomorrow against the Braves. Red Sox and Astros kick off the American League Championship Series tonight, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. NBA net star Kevin Durant told reporters he wishes none of this stuff would happen, but isn't upset Kyrie Irving's not with the team. Durant added he's positive things will work out the best for both parties. The Nets decided this week Irving won't practice or play with the team until he complies with New York City's COVID-19 vaccine mandate.
From the ESPN studios at Pier 17 in the Seaport District of New York City, this is Greeny with Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and on ESPN Plus.
Back and better than ever, Greeny, presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Goodyear Hotline today. Vin Scully speaks. We solve a major problem. We got fantasy, we got gambling, and we got who you got. The plate is full. Let's go.
Here we go! Only one place to start.
And the one place that we start is with a super fan, the one, the only Rob Ninkovich, hanging out after Get Up today in our studio, giving us the Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Thank you, Nink.
Hey there, Greeny. How we doing?
I'll never see. Here's the thing about me. Here's what you should know about me. The things I find funny never stop being funny. Like, you never have to worry about overdoing it. Some people will say, okay, it's enough. You've done the voice. Yeah. I never will stop thinking that's funny.
I mean, it's something I've perfected over many, many years of growing up in the Chicago area. So,
is that how
listening
the
to my
around
father speak sometimes?
Is that how he talks?
Yeah, you know, he's a Chicago guy, so he talks like a Chicago guy.
Yeah, I that's my second home. I lived there for 11 years, so I heard it like crazy. I started in local radio in Chicago, and I had a little bit of a New York accent. My father would have said, "You want to get a cup of coffee?" And I had to I worked like crazy to get rid of that. You can't have a New York accent.
You got a lot of fans there in Chicago. A lot of my friends say they're jealous that I get to work with you, which is, it's pretty cool.
Well, as everyone should be, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's get down to business. Let's start with last night.
Yeah.
So Graziano made a good point on TV today, which is Tom Brady the greatest free agent, the most impactful free agent in the history of the NFL? I know he's only been in Tampa for less than a year and a half, or a season and a half. but they've won a Super Bowl. They look like they certainly will be in it to win another one here. He's a force multiplier. Everybody wants to come play with him. He's elevated everybody. He's elevated the careers, and you made this point on TV really well this morning, of the coach and all of the coaches and all these other guys.
Yep.
And what I want to get from you, because you've lived it with him, how does he do it? Like, what is it about Brady's personality that does this?
I think it's his inner fire and drive and competitive nature. Like, he always wants to continually be better and better and better. And a lot of guys are just not even football players, baseball, basketball. You get to a certain point, you make a certain amount of money, and it's, oh, okay, like, I'm good. And I think that he's constantly trying to always be better than he was, and that's really hard to do in a sport where when you're in your 40s, that doesn't happen. We've never seen it before. But what I did say earlier on the show was the head coach is better for having Tom Brady. The Leftwich is going to be a head coach because he was the offensive coordinator for Tom Brady. The AB was somewhere that he couldn't get on with a team. Tom brings him in, and he seems to be a terrific fit there in Tampa. Gronk was sitting on a beach with his feet up, relaxing in retirement. Tom gets him out of retirement to go down to Tampa. The list goes on. Fournette gets cut by a team that he was drafted 4th overall, and then gets picked up by Tampa, and guess what? He's looking like the guy that was drafted 4th overall because he was the guy in college, and now he's the guy in the NFL that's playing motivated and trying to get back to where he was last year. And even the defense, I said the defense is in a better spot because when they didn't have Tom there and you had a quarterback throwing 30 interceptions, that's taxing on you as well because you're sitting there on the bench, you come off the series, you do your job, you hear sudden change, well, shoot, I can't even drink a sip of water. I got to go back out there on the field. Right. So everybody in the organization, even the GM, is having success because of Tom Brady. And look, I had success because of Tom Brady. I'm where I'm at today because of Tom Brady and the things that he helped the team achieve. And nobody remembers the teams that are 5-win football teams.
Right.
They remember the Super Bowl winning teams. So, yeah, definitely. I'd say that he is one of the best, if not the best, free agent signing.
It's Greeny presented by Progressive Insurance. If your pet is hurt in a car accident, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet expenses with free pet coverage. Visit Progressive.com. It's interesting you put it that way because Brady is now in that place where he's competing with ghosts. He's not competing. Yeah. He's not competing to be the best quarterback in the league or even the best quarterback ever. He's in that era or air now with Michael Jordan and Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and people like that. And I've often said of Jordan, because I started my career, as we mentioned, in Chicago, following him around every single day, that was my job, was that people will never know how many careers were made by Michael Jordan, including mine. Like, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for him. Just his greatness radiated out to where those of us who covered him, we got opportunities other people wouldn't have. There's just, when they say force multiplier, that is sort of an overused phrase. But guys like that, the rare guys like that, I think it really does apply.
No, I agree. And I was the kid in my front yard with Jordan. I'd roll my TV out in the garage and watch the game and then shoot baskets by myself. And there's things that there's somebody right now playing football when Tom's playing thinking, like, I want to be like Tom Brady. There's children named Brady in the New England area because of Tom Brady. So his footprint goes very far in the football, outside of football as well. And now he's going to come up with the Brady brand, and he's probably going to have a logo like Jordan. And
that's where he is.
He's in that category of he makes his own clothing line now, and it'll probably live on forever after he's done playing because of the success that he's had on the football field.
And he gets another win last night, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was in the zone last night. The Zone brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone with AutoZone. Let's go through a couple of other situations around the NFL here as we work our way towards this weekend with a bunch of really interesting games. We touched on Baltimore and the Chargers on TV a little bit ago, and I really like that game in a lot of ways because both quarterbacks are so good. And if you watched them both play last week, Herbert was unbelievable against Cleveland, and then Monday night, Lamar plays one of the great games of all time. How do you... Let's weigh those as contenders in the AFC. If we look at the contenders in the AFC, I'm telling you right now, one of those two teams is going to make it to the Super Bowl. Which one would you bet it would be?
I'm thinking I'm going to go with the team like the Ravens in the way they're built. And when I say the way they're built, they've already played some character-tested games where you have your kicker kicking 66-yard record-setting field goals.
Right.
You're down. And when you watch that game, when I watched the fourth quarter of that game where they came back and they scored, their ability to just flip the switch and get after the other team is very impressive. And Lamar's ability to just be even keel and calm and collected the whole time. You don't ever see him panic. You don't ever see him getting overly heated when he's playing, and then he goes out there and he performs. So I like the Ravens, and I know the Chargers and where they're at. They're a very impressive football team, and their ability to throw the football is impressive. But when I watch them play Cleveland, it's really hard to win in the playoffs when you're giving up 200-plus yards in the running game. It's really hard because at a certain point, if another team rushes for over 200 on you, your chances of winning are very slim because time of possession, you just don't have the touches. When they're running the football that much, you don't have that many opportunities. That's why that game was so impressive, the Browns versus the Chargers, because there was no turnovers, either quarterback,